I love the skin, and I love how it works and functions. So I studied a wound, and so imagine a V. Like you can even take the two palms of your hand and butt them together and let your fingers be spread apart so it's the shape of a V. Mm-hmm. So that's a wound. That's a cut, a scratch, something where the skin is separated. So now as it's going to go to regrow and heal, many times it'll heal with that space, the width of the V, still being kept apart. And what needs to knit it together is a little substance called a fibroblast. And a fibroblast is like a grappling hook. So if you actually have your two butt of your palms together and you take like your forefinger and you lay it down, kind of like the steeple in a church, but this one's just the forefinger's going to come across and touch the other hand. That's how a fibroblast would work, and if it works properly, it would start to shorten up, and all the fingers would fibroblast across each other. And as they shorten or contract, if they do it in an organized fashion, the wound closes up, and we have very little of a scar. Here's the things that can go wrong. We have a mineral imbalance, and we have some immune deficits. And what happens is these fibroblasts don't really quite meet the other side. They're not long enough, strong enough, and so the skin develops scar tissue. And if it doesn't contract properly and the fibroblast just thickens up, it raises up, and that's a keloid. So all these little fibroblasts are really skin rubber bands knitting it together. And so we have to have the right minerals, the right activation of our own immune response hormones. So what we put in Eracer is all of the food and substances that directly impact fibroblast healing and all the proper mechanisms. So there was about 5 mechanisms we needed to address in that product. Another thing that we did was look at how we could relieve pain by relieving inflammation. Some inflammation is good. You don't want 100% of the inflammation to go away because that's the activation or the mega horn that's calling to the fibroblasts to keep working. So you don't want to take it all down, but if you've gotten a bad burn or the cut is hurting, you also don't want histamines released, a part of the immune system that says, I'm hurt, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. So we wanted to be able to say, okay, histamines, we've paid attention to you. You can relieve up to 80% of your inflammation. We didn't figure out all of the ingredients, but we sought the ingredients from all over the world and then used them at the recommended dosage. So some things needed to be used at 5%, 4%, 8%, whatever the amount was. Aloe, 35% in the formula. So whatever it needed to be, we made sure that that product was made at absolute efficacy so that all of the different actions could be performed.